well, again, what's fascinating is uh, China's China is using AI. I looks in more practical ways that still here in the United States, it's what I call esoteric. Uh,
Hmm.
it's a great it's a great search engine, helps me gather information immediately, but there's also lots of limitations to it. A garbage in, garbage out phenomena. Um,
I wanted to add to this. I just looked this up quickly while we were chatting. Chinese courts have established legal precedents preventing companies from unilaterally firing or demoting employees solely to replace them with artificial intelligence. So they do care about their workforce here. One thing that I also wanted to add, it's not by luck that the Chinese are ready for the AI and the infrastructure. It's how the government runs. Each year they have something called two sessions where they do a 5-year plan. And the government structure here is very different from America. They're not trying to be the American government structure. They are what they are. Now, most people say, you know what? Let's leave it to the guys and girls upstairs to make the big decisions for the country. And we'll just get on with our lives. We'll enjoy the beautiful infrastructure, these 60,000 kilometers of high-speed rails, the new energy vehicles that help us save money on our monthly gas bill, and we can live a better lives. We're happy with great infrastructure, roads, low crime, and low cost of living that hasn't been hit by, massively by inflation. And that's the way it is. Now, the government here, when they're going to roll out something like AI, for example, I'll give you the new energy vehicle market. The government met. There's the NPC party and the CPPCC. These are two, structures of the Chinese government. Now, one will say, okay, we want to bring this idea in. And then you go to the other branch of the government and they say, well, okay, we like that, but we need to bring some scientists on board here. We need to bring some people that are experienced in this sector. And those may have been some, government elected officials already. So then they have a plan. They say, right, we're going to put X amount of charging stations throughout the country. We want you, Chinese brands, to use a universal plug for these cars. If we're going to do this, let's do it together. And we'll also get behind a couple of companies like CATL, a battery giant, or BYD, which is also a battery giant. We'll invest in them, and they will be a non-competitive battery supplier. Very interesting. Okay, so that means that there is the possibility for anyone to have their dreams for a new energy vehicle. When the battery, the most important component of a new energy vehicle, is ready and tested and had a great track record, you're not having to worry about that. Then we go on to the tires and the brakes. Well, here's where the North American and the Europeans come in. China doesn't want to invent the wheel. They know that Goodyear tires are great. They know that Michelin tires are great.
yeah,
They know
yeah.
that the Germans have great brake pads. Let's go. Let's put those together. And then you slap in a nice Huawei operating system. Unfortunately, Google could have got in there and Apple probably could have got in there, but they chose to stay out of this market. And once that gets going and you get these cars up, of course, you're going to have hundreds and hundreds of startup companies here. Okay. They start up, some of them fail. And then we see a consolidation in this market. And now we're seeing that China went through that. China went through the consolidation, and now they're sending their brightest and best overseas. It won't be long until you start to see BYDs cruising the streets in your town, for sure.
Yeah, so far, I think the United States is like restricting them, preventing them from coming in. But it's just the numbers are such in term, and also the price, because the Chinese are able to produce it at such a low cost. It's not the upper income crowd that gets the Tesla. Yeah,
Yeah.
So.
Larry, it makes sense. These cars make sense. This is not about Greta Thunberg and the environment and save trees and the whales. That's not what this is about. Most people think, these new energy vehicles, you're going to get me into a battery car because you don't want it. You don't want to be polluting the world. Okay, sure. There are benefits to that. I mean, I'm in a city of 35 million. There's no smog. None. Zero. Zip. Zilch. Doesn't happen. Blue sky. 35 million, blue sky in an industrial city of Chongqing. Amazing. So you see these cars around here, and yeah, you're right. Dollar for dollar, they're very valuable. And what you get inside is incredible. Zero gravity seats, 27-inch screen drop down, LiDAR technology that can see through fog and sleet, and it actually saves lives. And they've been proven to be quite safe. Now,